Alright, on my way to do the shooting challenge. This will be the last thing I gotta do, and then I'll be done and ready to win my sheep hunt. So, just a little thought, before I start shooting here. I grew up shooting slug guns, 50, 75 yards. That was kind of like my max, maybe 100. Got into muzzle loading a little bit, just cheap little inlines, 150, and then hunted with a 30-30 probably the last 10 years, and 200 yards was a long shot for it. So a lot of standing shots, really little to no formal training besides just my grandpa teaching me to shoot in the backyard when I was a little boy. So today be the first shot with a real long range capable rifle and cartridge, shooting the 6.5 PRC out of the Ruger American Gen 2. Got a Vortex scope on there. That's gonna be a whole nother thing, is learning my dialing system and stuff like that. So this is gonna be really good exercise for me. I'd love to be able, when I leave today, feel real confident out to 400 yards. If everything goes good, I'd love to take a few shots back to 600. But if I could feel really comfortable at the 400 yards, it'd be a great starting spot. And another thing too, today I got 3 different types of ammunition. Seeing what shoots best out of my gun is going to be important exercise today too. So that's kind of my thoughts. I'll take some video while I'm shooting, and then we'll do my wrap up video, and we'll get this out there to you. So stick around and see some probably very mediocre shooting. Alright, just about to get my rifle sighted in here, and thought I'd show you my 3 ammo choices. So I got some cheap Norma. That's what I'm going to start out with, just to get sighted in. It might shoot good, who knows. I got some 140 grain Federal, and then I got the Precision Hunters ELDX 143 grain. So gonna get started here and get this rifle sighted in, and then we'll start shooting from some different positions. All right. So I got 3 shots there, 25 yards, and I think I'm more or less sighted in. That was my first one, second one, third one. So I'm gonna make just one more tiny adjustment. I'd love to been shooting off a bench there, but you know, I gotta work with what I got here. So I'm gonna make, you know, one more tiny adjustment. And then I'm gonna go ahead and step back here to 100 yards and shoot for groups. And then I'll start shooting some positions. So there's 3 shots down. Okay, I'm gonna re-zero turrets on my rifle here. I will say this Norma ammo, this is really cool. Like, it's got these little, I don't know, carrying cases here. It comes like this in your package and you can just snap it. You get these little, you know, 5 rounds to carry around with you. I'm gonna keep it if I use a Norma or not, because those are handy to carry around your, so you don't have any loose ones rolling around in your pocket. I really like that. So this is the Vortex Diamondback Tactical 4-16 by 44. I'm gonna attempt to re-zero this this scope, so bear with me here. Take this top screw off, retaining screw. Okay, and then it says lift the turret off the scope and orient the turret to reposition the 0 mark on the index line. So I lift it up, twist it back to 0, and then I reinstall the screw. That was not hard at all. Hold my turret. Okay. Do the same thing with my windage here. Hold it. It's starting to get hot out here on me. All right. Take this off and I'm gonna zero that. Just like that, man. Got my turrets back on 0. That is a really cool system. I like that. I'm sure there's other ones out there that are even better, but into some of the Federal Fusion here. All right, so pretty bad results overall. My Federal, I was aiming here and I must have sailed the target. It's a different load, you know, than the Norma, but not even on the paper. So really not fair to say the Federal there. And the real story here is I'm just a really bad shooter. That's the real story. I don't know. These are 2 out of the Hornady. And I'm gonna guess that's my 3rd one there. So that's the Hornady. Okay, so the Hornady and Norma both shot out the same, and the real story here is that I'm a bad shooter. That's the real story. So, you know, I need to continue practicing and getting better. You know, getting on a bench where I get a real solid rest too, I'm gonna get a better, you know, group than I am out here. But I'm gonna go back. You know, we still got a lot of shooting left to do. I'm gonna go from my standing position at 100, and then I'm gonna try and get to where I could shoot a little further. So we'll do some standing shots, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we're back to 300 yards. This is as far as I can get on our farm, and probably about as far as I feel comfortable shooting right now. Anyways, I'm definitely gonna have to spend a lot more time behind my gun. So at 300 yards, I'm not gonna be able to go prone because of kind of the topography here. But I got a lot of prone shots earlier at 100 yards. So I'm gonna go seated off the bag, or kneeling off the tripod, so standing off the tripod. I need to do 2 more rounds just freestanding, which I'll shoot closer for that because I think 100 yards max on standing is where I'm at. And then, yeah, that should just about do me. It should give me close to that 40 round mark. So let's get started here. Alright, gonna do some tripod work here, so I just thought I could try standing, shooting up the tripod. They'll give me my 2 more standing, and then I'll go go seated off the tripod, kneeling off the tripod, and then that's going to pretty much wrap it up for me. Three rounds shot today. Oh my goodness. Nobody told me how much work that was going to be. Couldn't find all my brass, but there's a big chunk of it. All right, let's try this again. I had the air conditioner just blasting, and I kind of thought, oh, that's dumb. So I just finished up the shooting challenge, and first thing I'll say is like, really enjoyed it. I could totally see how that's like somebody's hobby, to go to the range, you know, multiple times a week, get all your stuff out, get really dialed, you know, experimenting with new rounds, whatever. I thought that was cool. You know, but for me, it was an hour, 45-minute drive out here to the family farm. You know, I have an hour, 45 minutes back, and it was 2.5, 3 hours of shooting. So that's a time-consuming commitment to make. So I'm just gonna have to find a range closer by to my house that's already set up, and you know, ready to go, and that's gonna make things easier too. You know, that's a limitation too around here, is like finding places with enough distance to shoot where it's safe. You know, I was able to sneak out to 300 yards, and let me tell you, that was a long ways. I mean, I said, you know, I want to be able to be a 600-yard shooter, but I think that, you know, with some practice and stuff, I might be able to be a 400-yard shooter. But 600 yards is a long ways. And I would definitely get a scope with more magnification for 600-yard shooting, 100%. That's just me, but that's how I feel about it. You know, got to try some different ammo. The Hornady ELDXs shot great. The Norma shot great. I'm sure the Fusion shot great too. It just didn't. With the way I shot, I never really gave it a fair chance. So you know, it was more expensive. So I'm happy to shoot the ELDX. You know, I got to shoot a lot of different positions. And I will say this. You know, that's the most I've shot continuous in my entire life. You know, when I'd get ready for deer season with my 30-30, you get a box or two in ammo, you run out, make sure you're still on at 100, you might shoot a few extra, and you might shoot 5 or 10 shots. Come back in and call it a day. And you're ready to go out there and shoot deer at 200 yards if you're lucky. You know, so this was the most I'd shot besides, you know, mag dumping ARs or AKs. And it was, like I said, it was enjoyable. One thing I did think about was that when I'm at home, I don't live on a huge lot, but there's woods behind me, and I got enough space. I think I'm gonna get my bolt action 22 out and just like practice different shooting positions, you know, positioning my body better, you know, breathing techniques, etc. That could be a cheap, easy way to do some practice. And I really love the 6.5 PRC. I found the recoil. I don't think any recoil is pleasant, but very manageable, very easy to work with, and you know, nothing. It could be, you know, like the combination of the butt pad. We got a muzzle brake. You know, compared to my 30-30, it was much better to shoot. Much better. And I kind of had a thought while I was leaving here. I got a little time this week, and this is the last week of the challenge. But I think tomorrow I'm going to do a little shooting challenge with my bow, and make this kind of like a double shooting challenge. So tomorrow I'm going to try to get the bow out and do some shooting. And then, like I said, I'm going to have to figure out something as far as practicing my my rifle shooting a little more. So we'll see you tomorrow when I get that bow out and do some archery practice. So see you then.